Commence primary ignition.
Hey there, friends, fans, and collectors. Welcome to another episode of Binary Sunset Review. Today we are taking a look at the Walmart exclusive line of vintage collection carbonized graphite figures. We're going to be starting with the Imperial Death Trooper, which is seen for the first time on a Mandalorian card. My Remnant Stormtrooper's trying to run. Seen for the first time on a Mandalorian cardback with the green pillbox. This figure has an extra glossy finish and some really cool exclusive packaging. Let's take a look. Before I begin, I wanted to remind everyone to hit the subscribe button below. It's the best way to stay informed and help support the channel. Now, this is a vintage collection figure that was exclusive to Walmart. It was launched in the start of Mando Mondays, and it's recently been shipping out to everyone out there if you were lucky enough to get a pre-order. Now, these are also still very available to, look at that glare. These are all still very available to order online, and some stores still have them in stock. This figure was launched as a set of these 4 figures that were previously launched in last year's vintage collection line, excluding the Death Trooper, which is launched from a year or 2 back with Rogue One. Now, these are really, really cool figures, all getting different packaging, unique extra glossy packaging, as you can see here. I'll go into the changes in the packaging for this exclusive line in a minute when we get some more close-ups, but in short, it is much more sturdy cardback. It's not numbered, and it's incredibly glossy, just like the paint job that the figures have on. Here we have a look at the front of the packaging. This packaging, as I said before, is very, very unique. It's really more durable, but it also has this gloss on it. And it's really interesting to see in the close-up because each figure has a different kind of hue to the gloss, and this is all in just how it was packaged and in order to get this kind of like shiny look to it. But I apologize because it's really neat. The shine is nice, but it is hard to capture in the right lighting because it does reflect very easily. It's cool, it's unique, it stands out from other vintage collection packaging, yet still maintaining that look and that theme that we know and love. We have the green backing with the green title pillbox up here, and we also see that green shade kind of reflecting in the background of the packaging here. So I thought at first that I was seeing things when I saw this, but then all the other figures like that, they actually do have a hue to the color that's chosen. I guess it just like is embossed in the shininess, but it's really, really able to see. You're really able to see it on the Death Trooper because the green does stick out. Catching the light, it is very, very attractive and does really catch the eye, as well as offer up an incredible durability. Now, it's almost a shame to tear into this kind of packaging, but these cardbacks are tough, beautifully, beautifully tough. You know, Hasbro, do this for all your vintage collection figures. We would love him forever. I mean, I hope that this figure, I will have to say that it was about $5 higher than the normal price for vintage collection figures, which clock in at about $12.99. This figure was $17.99, and you know, it's one of the rare figures that does have, it kind of does catch up with the price. It shouldn't be $18. That's way too much for these figures. They should be like literally half that. But we at least are getting some durability for collectors in terms of the packaging and some uniqueness to the paint job. And these are really figures that are meant to be in box and looked up and admire. They're really quality in the boxing. But let's flip it around here. Could talk about the boxing for a while, but we'll talk about some more changes in the back. Again, pardon the glare, but the shiny glossiness does go through for the back of the packaging also, which I actually kind of admire, because it really does make this kind of boring legalese pop out. So there is no number to this figure because it is part of an exclusive 4-figure set that goes with the Walmart Mandalorian Mando Mondays release. We do have some unique flavor text on the back here, as well as 4 images of the figures in this set, that being the Mandalorian, Cara Dune, the Remnant Stormtrooper, and the Imperial Death Trooper. Now the flavor text reads, "The Carbonized Collection Imperial Death Trooper figure has been treated with a sleek metallic finish down to the latest detail. So, kind of personalizes the figure. Doesn't really talk much about the collection, but it's neat to see that we get some different flavor text that sets it apart again from other vintage collection figures. Even though these are meant to stay in box, let's get this bad Larry out of its packaging and really see what this carbonized graphite paint job looks like up close. Now, I'm not gonna show me struggling and manhandling to break onto this packaging. I have had some tips on how to break into it because it is very unique, not only in its durability, but also in how to get into it. Normal figures, you can kind of pull the bubble away from the card back. This is uniquely the image that makes it glossy is kind of like over the bubble, so it's got some extra packaging. It's not as intuitive to break into, and I am going to try to preserve. I'm going to, not going to try, do it or not. I am going to preserve this card back so that it can be viewed nicely in the future. I'm going to do that by taking an X-Acto blade and carefully cutting along outside the bubble. Now, this is different from how I normally open vintage collection figures, where I go under the bubble to try to preserve the card. This is different and unique, and I don't believe that if you're going to open it that way, there is a way to preserve the card back. First impressions out of the box of the Imperial Death Trooper are how really nice this figure is in the vintage collection form. Now, some people were a little bit upset because it does come under the Mandalorian title, and on the screen in the Mandalorian in Season 1, the Death Troopers actually weren't seen with the pauldron or with their extra ammo things, or the grenades or whatever, as he is seen in this figure. So I will go into more of this in the accessories and articulation, but I'll start off by saying they can be removed. So his pauldron, his ammo things, the grenade belt can be removed. He can be actually seen as he's seen on screen. I know the one also difference is this little rangefinder or whatever on the side of his head, but anyway, outside the box, this figure is fantastic. Now, I can't really see, because I actually don't have the original Death Trooper figure, so I don't have them to compare to show the glossiness, but he does have a nice hue on his regular black armor, where I believe it used to be more of a matte color. And the really neat thing is there is a metallic kind of like bit to his eyes and his helmet. So I'll do more of a close-up, but as is seen on screen, they do have these kind of like green rangefinders and eyes kind of look to them, and they are a little bit hinted green, which is very neat, really cool to see. He comes with all the armaments that he had on screen, as with his awesome little Imperial assault rifle. I forget the name of it. Please leave the name in the comments below, and the fully automatic Imperial pistol, which we all love. Here we have some height comparisons of the different Imperial troopers in the vintage collection that we've seen. Now, we know that the Death Troopers they're kind of like the SEAL Team 6 of the Imperial Army. So these guys are kind of like the elite special forces. And what we know from story and canon is that not only are they big dudes, but they're also genetically altered big dudes. So it's actually nice to see that this canon and lore is consistent with the figures in having them be a little bit taller, a little bit broader, a little bit larger than the average Stormtrooper. So here we have a Remnant Stormtrooper in the middle, which is pretty average height looking there. And then we have the Shadow Trooper to the left, which is similar height, pretty average. And on the right, we can see that our Death Trooper is like nearly a head plus taller than the average troopers. So it's really cool to see, and nice that they have this consistent. Here we have the accessories that come with the Imperial Death Trooper. I know there was a bit of a fuss around the fact that, he in the show The Mandalorian, because the card back is with The Mandalorian, and in the show, in the season finale, he wasn't seen with the pauldron, with these extra grenades, with these extra things. And his head very easily is removable, and you can take this thing right off. There is a little like latch that makes it super easy in the back. But again, very neat that if you get a couple of these guys, you can equip them looking different with different weapons, because he also comes with the E11D blaster rifle, which is what we saw on screen in Rogue One and The Mandalorian. It's only what the Death Troopers carry. It's like a souped up version of the E11, as well as the fully automatic SE-14R light rifle, which is this little pistol. It's like a little machine pistol. And it's nice. They come fully decked out. These also come with the kind of carbonized graphite little vinyl glow to them, which is really neat. All right, we're going to talk some articulation for our Imperial Death Trooper. Now, this figure is one of the newer Vintage Collection figures, so he does come with a lot of the advancements that we've seen in the past year to articulation with these figures, including from the feet up. Ball and hinge feet, so he can point his toes. I'm not doing it all the way, but he can point his toes there, pick them back up. He has knee joints. The knee armor is connected to the thigh armor, so you don't have to move around. He doesn't have butterfly joints, and this does balance the figure pretty well, so you can have him take a knee pretty easily. His thigh joint comes up as well as turns, so not only can you lift to elevate it, but you can position his leg in any kind of way that you would like to make him pose better, make him do some squats here. He has the Shakira hips, as we know, which let him go back and forth. They also let him move forward to give us kind of like a belly dance option. His helmet, as I mentioned before, we're able to see the most of his articulation right here because I removed his helmet, and you can take off the pauldron and extra ammo packs that he comes with. So this is very, very easily done. It comes with a little latch that, as you can see, it's designed to come up and out really easy. And it really allows him not only to look different, so you can outfit a full squad of these guys, but it also allows for better articulation of the figure. So he doesn't have really armored pauldrons. He has smaller pauldrons. They're attached to the armor plating of his arms, so they don't impede his arms going up at all. He actually has quite a range to tee his arms and bring them up. He also has elbow joints and wrist joints. Well, you can really be doing that. The Vintage Collection figures have some very, very advanced articulation. Doing a little close up here, you can kind of see the green tint, which is screen accurate in his, not only the rebreather, but also in the lens of his helmet. As I mentioned, it's very, very easy. The head pops right off, helmet pops right off. You can put the pauldron right back on. And get him looking just as good as he did right out of box. I really, really like this edition and really, really enjoy that you can add and remove different accessories and parts of the figure. Pros and cons for this figure. Now, pros would definitely have to be the first time seeing this figure on a card back from the Mandalorian show. This is the second time we've seen them live action on cinema, and a lot of people, myself included, missed out on the first time they got a Vintage Collection card back, which was on the Rogue One card. This Death Trooper can still be found on some shelves and can certainly still be pre-ordered or ordered to deliver to your house from Walmart.com. Now, I'll leave links for that below. I hope that we can continue to see other exclusives on the Vintage Collection line, because that is my favorite line, the collector's line. Thanks for watching another episode of Binary Sunset Review. Tune in here for the best Star Wars news and reviews as soon as I make them. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate your views and your likes. Have a great day out there. Stay safe, stay sane, and remember, this is the way.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.